G'day and welcome back to the nation. Today we're going over the Totenreich Easter egg. I've tried to make this the most optimized and to the point as I can. So the first step is we're going to head down to the village and grab the RC car. From there we're going to head over to the central fishing village and pick up the fishing rod, taking the zip line to the first of the power cables. But before that we're going to explode this hole so we can use the RC car. We're doing all of this in this order so that we can do it in the most optimized route. Be careful with this jump when you do the launch, and then just detonate your car inside to reveal the hidden room. Alright, we're going to go straight back over to where we just detonated the car, so we can get the first piece of uranium straight away. So what we need to do is come over to this window, and you will see each number will correlate from 1 to 5, and there will be a letter from A to E. So ours is 2 and 5, so it will be B and E. So we need to locate B and E around the room, and then place them onto the center console, which will then create a purple liquid. Once you pick up the purple liquid, take it over to this body, which will dissolve it, revealing a necro spike. Place the necro spike into the door. Now you just need to find the part that glows. Wait 3 seconds and it will move along to the next pin. Once you complete all 3, you'll gain your first piece of uranium. Now we're simply going to head back over to where we were going to turn on the power and activate the power as usual. So the first one is in Richtofen's office, then take the zip line back to the center village, and the next one will be like straight once you come off the zip line. Alright, now head up to Tier's leg, where we can enter Tier and finally turn on the power. Once you turn on the power, we're going to go through these chutes. In doing so, it's going to drop a zombie scientist with us. We must pick up the key card from where the zombie scientist drops. Don't forget to pick up the keycard before you leave this area. In this building right here, there's going to be a button that we press to lower a wall running puzzle to collect the chain piece. Jump across and collect it, then make your way up to Richtofen's office, where the bunker is. Here we're going to use the keycard we just picked up. Taking out the zombies, we will then pick up the Glock drop controller. Before we actually use the Glock drop, we're going to make our way across this bridge here to pick up the canned meat so then we can summon the bear at the market. Pick up the can right here, then make your way down to the marketplace and place the can on the table right here. At round 10, the bear will spawn. Before that, we're going to head back over to the center and we're going to activate Pack-a-Punch. In doing so, this gives us a free Glock drop controller that we can use for later to get our second piece of uranium. Once the objective has been completed, Pack-a-Punch is available. Now that it's round 10, come back over to the marketplace and do not end the round until you murder the bear. Once killing the bear, it will drop the last piece of the WonderWeapon. Make your way over to the temple here, and we're going to put the chain into the wall to lower the doors. Once we are inside, we're going to have to place the lantern down on the totem in the middle, which is going to activate this step. So the way the symbols work is left, right, back, front. So ours is horse, you match the horse. The second one's wolf, so you match the wolf. Then it's boat, find the boat. And for us, the last one is the pig, so you find the pig. This will cause Astrid to spawn in the middle. Once she finishes giving you her little bit of dialogue, follow the path up to here and wait for her to finish her dialogue at this part as well. Once she finishes dialogue here, just continue to follow her along until she moves to the final spot here. Now you're going to have to kill ice zombies. Once you fill up enough souls, continue to follow Astrid. She'll take a bit of time, but all you need to do is follow her until she fully stops at the next location, which is just before the lighthouse. Now that she's at the lighthouse, all you need to do is once again fill up the ice zombies until she'll make a jumping puzzle appear in front of you. This is honestly one of the best WonderWeapon quests in all of Zombies history. Just make your way across this jumping puzzle, avoiding as many zombies as possible, and make sure you grab the crowbar inside. Once again, there's going to be a second step of this jumping puzzle. Make your way up. I missed that jump, but you can shortcut your way up there, which I did not do this run. And once we're through this hole, we've made it to the top. Now all you need to do is wait for Astrid to construct a WonderWeapon, and then claim it. Congratulations, you have the Durham Star. Now with the crowbar, we're going to make our way down to the first room, which is where PhD Flopper is, and open these boxes, looking for an AA bullet. The second box is located just under Richtofen's office. The third box is actually located just before the Glock drop controller. And the fourth box for me is where the trap is and melee macchiato. Now head over to the AA gun once you have the AA bullet, placing it into the gun and using your melee weapon to fire it. We're then going to head back to spawn and search this part for a transmitter. This part takes a while, so be careful to get off if zombies flood you. Once you pick up the transmitter, make your way back to the head of tier, where we're going to insert the transmitter. Once we finish inserting the transmitter, lights are going to blink, which is going to flash a code for us. So you watch these lights. I do this independently on each side so I can get the code. You can get both codes in one go or come back one each round. I prefer the come back one each round. Once you have your code, make your way up to this zip line. Now enter the code. If done correctly, you'll get a quote.
It was right. Hooray.
As I was saying before, you can wait a minute and 20 seconds and enter the code back in, or do a round and come back to T's head and get the second part of the code. Okay, now I have the second part of the code, and it's a new round. I'm heading back to the console to enter in my second part. If you can get both parts of the code, you can enter both of them in the same round. For me, this is just the method I find easiest. We're going back to Richtofen's office to grab the Wonder Barrage. Now make your way over to Building 2, next to Melee Macchiato, and use the Wonder Barrage on the building. When the missiles hit the building, there's a 30 to 60 second delay for the doors to open, but you can run up the side of the building, causing it to happen quicker. Go up the steps and this will make the interaction happen faster. The next step is we're going to use our Glock drop controller right here, and we need to kill 20 zombies that have been lifted into the air. This must be done in a single Glock drop. Now we're going to search the map for the irradiated fish. The first location is here on the island, just by the AA gun. The second location is just by Quick Revive. The third location is at spawn next to the robot. The fourth location is by tier. The fifth location is by PhD Flopper and where you can buy armor.
Now you all know who was the greatest plunderer of the sea.
The sixth location is on the wharfs by Juggernog. The seventh location is back on the island where the second AA gun is, as you take the zipline back to spawn. The eighth location is on the opposite side of the bridge where we input the code to the computer. This is where the irradiated fish was for me. Once the Ravager spawns, we're going to have to end the round. Then pull up your map on the next round and you will see the Ravager spawn somewhere on your map. Ping it on the map and this is the easiest way to track it. We now need to kill the Ravager 3 times. We're simply hitting it 3 times. Follow the Ravager each time it teleports, and on the 3rd time you find it, it will drop the uranium we're looking for. Once you pick up the uranium, we're now headed back to that claw machine. Placing all 3 parts of the uranium into the claw machine. The objective here is to put enough power into the machine without overloading it. So for this one exactly, we make a square like this. For the final 2 nodes, we're going to place them on parts where they do not connect to any other point. So place this one here as shown, and notice it was only a minuscule power jump. Now grabbing the last node, we're going to place it on a spot where it will not connect to anything else as well. And in doing so, we can now pick up the canister, and we must take this back to spawn where Quick Revive is. By placing it next to Quick Revive, we now have to go inside this house and activate the generator. Throughout this process, the generator is going to stop 2 times. You must go back over to the generator and reinitiate it without letting the power drop. Once you have started the generator 2 times and finished this step, you can go back outside and pick up the canister. Once you pick up the canister, we now have to go to the bridge. Be careful as ice spikes are going to be constantly shooting out of the ground. you're also going to be taking constant ticks of irradiation damage. If at any point you need to drop the canister, hold the crouch button and it will allow you to drop it, regen your health, then pick it back up. We need to make our way to the center of the bridge and place the canister on the drum in front of Tyr. Tyr will then absorb it. When you see Tyr fire the red laser beam, that means we're able to go pick up the Dubbark shard. We're going to then head back over the bridge to this church, where we're going to find a free disciple injector on the floor in front of this zombie. We're now going down to the church, where we're going to place the stone in the fire. We're going to use our ult ability on the fire to heat it up. And now we're going to use the disciple injector to lift zombies up and slam them into the fire. Doing this until you see the screen go white means it's done properly. Get ready because you're now about to face a little mini boss. There is a max ammo that spawns in the church. Once you have killed this guy, there will be a sun shard that drops in front of the fireplace. Make sure you pick that up before you leave. Now we're going to go back up to the spot where we grabbed the disciple injector. We're going to place the stone down on the pedestal and make sure you melee the stone with the WonderWeapon. This is going to cause runes in a circle to appear in the sky. The easiest way to explain this is the number of slashes on your arrow determine which one you do first. Our first one has 1 slash, so it's going to be R. Our second one has 2 slashes, so it's going to be V. And our third one had 3 slashes, so it's going to be Z. After lighting this last one, if done correctly, you're now ready for the boss fight. If not, go back to the church and have a look at the sky until you find the right runes. Come back over to Tyr's head and enter it. Then hold the interact button on the center console to initiate the boss fight. My strategy for this boss fight, which is only my personal opinion, is you do as much damage as you can in this first phase to the ice giant. If you do enough damage and you break his spot, Tyr will come to help you. If you don't, the ice giant will lock out a zone. If at any point he locks out a zone, come over to this middle and activate a trap, which will protect you from the blizzard effects. If not, just run out of it. Once you've done enough damage, the next step is he will drop these ice skulls. The only way to destroy them is either your lethal or your WonderWeapon doing explosions. Once you break the skull, you're on to the next phase of doing major damage again. You gotta hide behind obstacles until you can punch out enough damage, which will then cause him to activate the skulls again. In doing so, this will be the next round of skulls. There will be 2 this time, so rinse and repeat. A grenade in the mouth or the alt fire of your WonderWeapon, then do as much damage as you can. Once you've damaged this skull, there will be 1 more down in the center. Go down and rinse and repeat the same steps again. If you manage to do enough damage, you're going on to the 3rd and final stage. Be careful, as the boss is going to block off all other parts of the arena besides the center. When doing so, he will spawn a max ammo. And he's now going to rain constant barrages at you. For some of these barrages, you are going to have to lay down and duck. Now, just target the eyes and do as much damage as possible until you drop him. And congratulations, you've beaten the boss. If this video has helped, please like and subscribe as it greatly helps a growing channel. Thank you very much, and we will see you again on the next one.